Good morning, everyone. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. This is part of the Old North End tour I used to offer on behalf of Preservation Burlington. On one day of the year in July during the Ramble, the Old North End Ramble, which celebrates living in the Old North End. So, this house is known as the Frederick Smith House. And if you look on the porch, let's see if I can actually get a close-up of that. Well, unfortunately not close enough. But when you're on your phone, you can enlarge this and look at it yourself. There's a plaque that Preservation Burlington sells, and it does say circa 1830 on it. This house may not look that old. One might guess it in the 1850s, but really 1830 is its original date. So this brick building was built in the 1830s as a home for Frederick Smith, an owner of the town's first manufacturing outfit, the Champlain Glass Company, 1827. The date of construction is difficult to determine because there is evidence pointing towards a pre-1830 construction and an 1840 construction. The house is an interesting combination of the Federal and the Gothic Revival styles. So, just so you know the difference between those two, the Gothic Revival style, we can see that in that strong triangular bit at the top of the building. Let me get out of the way of the tree limbs here. I love trees, but let's face it, they do block views. So that sharp pitch of the roof, the slate roof, the fact it's built of brick. Gothic buildings would have been built of stone because it harkens back to medieval times when it was first introduced. And a Federal style is the way the windows are directly over each other. The top floor and the bottom floors are directly above. Also a brick building. That also suggests a Federal style. These buildings were built to last. So, anyway, bit of a difference between those two styles. They do mesh nicely together. Let me see. The Gothic Gable was added later, most likely sometime in the 1840s. The steeply pitched Gothic dormer is nearly identical to those found on Front Street, which is also in the Old North End. Smith had been contracted by Burlington in 1842 to lay out Front Street and Battery Street north of Pearl. Many of the updates and additions in the 1840s were due to a prosperous time for the Champlain Glass Company. By 1850, the glass company was closing up shop due to a dwindling supply of wood and severe competition from the Pennsylvania area. And let's talk about that dwindling supply of wood, shall we? Up until 1850, the Burlington lumber industry used native timber to construct and to make products from. By 1850, all that was left were stumps. So that's why there was a dwindling supply of wood, because they also burned it. So the Champlain Glass Company needed to have the kilns. Yes, kilns. So constant supply of something to burn for them. So that's why I don't know much about this Pennsylvania company or competition from the Pennsylvania area, but I do know they were down to stumps by 1850. All right, so we're going to continue, and I'm going to show you the side of the building as well, as long as we're walking. Those of us who are part of this tour are standing in the shade right now because it's supposed to be 77 degrees Fahrenheit today. So warm, finally warm. We're not shoveling snow, and I think that's what most of us are thrilled about, that we're not shoveling snow, we're not freezing off body parts, all that good stuff. Now, as we come around to the side of the building, we can see this amazing fan light at the top. And as we come better around to the side here, we get a straighter shot of it. Now, a fan light is in the attic. It's decorative. It's often decorative, but sometimes they do open. I don't know if this one opens or not, but that semicircle up there is the fan light. A beautiful detail. The modern houses do not have these kinds of details. It's such a shame. So, and we can see an addition to the building here on the back. The brick is not painted, which helps tell you it's a different sort of style, but it's still strong. It's still lovely. It has a lovely back porch, all that good stuff. Anyway, this is the Frederick Smith House, and we're going to continue the tour and include you in just a couple of minutes. Alrighty, so just adding to the Old North End tour here, this building that is right in front of us. Now, this is known as the George Rand Block. 1886, expanded in 1889, and again in 1894. We're at 62 to 66 North Champlain Street, in case anybody would like to come and take a look-see for themselves at it. This is an Italianate commercial style block, and I have to say, in all the years I have offered walking tours around Burlington, I have been asked multiple times by people on the tours, this is my house, do you know the history? And I would say 99.9% of the time the answer is no, sorry, I don't. But I can almost assure you that nobody would ever want to know the history of this place, at least the original owner of it. It was built for an Undertaker.
Really?
Who kept shop here and rented out the apartments. So you can see an Italianate style building, particularly the commercial ones, the commercial Italianate buildings. They are very distinctive. They are characterized by, well, they call it a flat roof, but there is a bit of a pitch to it. It's not completely flat. You can't see it, but you can see there's no pitch to it as we look at it. It has bracketed cornices, and let me go ahead and focus in up there along the roof line. Those fancy dancy brackets, they have, I mean, they do hold the roof edge up, but they're also very decorative. Let me go ahead and scroll out of there. Let me see. This one has very ornate window hoods. Don't you love some architectural terms? I know I do. But calling it a window hood is kind of fun. And, so if you're looking at this on your phone, again, go ahead and enlarge it so you can get a better view of the intricate pieces that I've been talking about. Anyway, these are all architectural features that are found throughout this part of the city. And wherever you're watching this, wherever you live, I'm sure there are Italianate style buildings. So where does that name come from, Italianate? I know I wanted to know, and usually if I wanted to know, someone else would ask the question. So Italianate comes from Venice. The Venetians during the Middle Ages was a very prosperous area. And the idea of calling this Italianate and commercial buildings is that people who had these types of buildings would also prosper and be financially comfortable. So that's where the name comes from, for Italianate. Alrighty, so I'm going to continue up the block a little bit. We get to walk it, and you get to sit in your home, perhaps with your slippers on, enjoying the video without all the walking. See you soon. Something else I wanted to mention about this building is the late 19th century's idea of air conditioning, and that's transom windows. Those squares above the doors are transom windows, and the purpose of them is you open them, and then as heat rises, it's drawn out through the transom window, so cooler air can replace it, and then it can do this function all day, or as long as you have the windows open. So anyway, just so you know, I love transom windows. I think they're beautiful, and why not think about them as we talk about old buildings? All right, on to the next place. All right, so back again. Wanted to point out this amazing building right here, and I'm sure if you are watching this, you know exactly what this building had been. Pan in so you can get a better view of it. Oops.